This review is made possible by Gerald Kia in Naperville. Gerald's outstanding staff is ready to find the perfect car for you. Whether it be new or used, your next car is waiting for you at Gerald Kia.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2024 Kia Seltos SX Turbo. Up front is a 1.6 liter turbocharged inline 4 and down below is an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this Kia Seltos for two reasons. First of all, it's been a couple years since I have driven one, and since then two of my very close friends have actually purchased this vehicle for their own personal use, which has been interesting to see. The second reason is the fact that 2024 is a refresh year, so there's a lot of new parts here on the Seltos that I'm excited to share with you. But if you would like a video of your car filmed here on the channel, you could submit it to my website, zackpradel.com. It's a quick and easy submission form, takes under a minute to fill out, and you would get a video of your car, just like the one you're watching now, of this Kia Seltos. But before we get back to the drivetrain, let's talk about what's new for 2024. Well, first of all, they've updated it visually. The headlights and taillights have been changed a little bit to give it a little bit different of a look. The Kia Seltos debuted in 2020, so about 4 years of refresh seems to be pretty good. The interior has also been tweaked, getting the signature cross-dash screen system that Kia has been integrating into some of their more recent products. And we do get this new interior color, which I'm a big fan of. The drivetrain has also changed. The 1.6 liter turbo, although it was offered in the previous model year, now makes 20 more horsepower than it did in 2023, bringing it up to 195 horsepower. Similarly, the transmission has been changed from a 7-speed to an 8-speed. So with the changes out of the way, let's talk about the drivetrain. Like I said, under the hood is a 1.6 liter turbocharged inline 4, making 195 horsepower. And I think it does a pretty good job. Now you can also buy the Seltos with a 2 liter non-turbo engine. That's going to be the more base engine, and the 1.6 turbo is the upgrade. Last but not least, this particular Seltos is all-wheel drive. However, you can find base model Seltos in front-wheel drive if that's something you'd prefer, or if that's a trim level you're going to go with. So how does it feel to actually drive the Seltos for 2024? It drives really, really great. Forward visibility is pretty good. Steering has some feedback, but not enough to really shake me around. It feels very, very good. Turning it in a parking lot, I was very pleasantly surprised at how well it steers and turns. You're not going to have an issue with trying to lug this big steering wheel around if you've struggled with that with other vehicles, and I really, really enjoy that. So with that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have that new digital screen. Off to the left is my speedometer, off to the right is my tachometer, and of course, I can cycle through a couple things in the middle in the information center in the gauge cluster. I really like this setup from Kia. We've seen it on the new Sportage, we've seen it on the new Telluride, and a bunch of other products. So far, so good. I tend to really like this setup, and I love when you switch drive modes, the gauge cluster actually switches its color schemes as well. I like that little attention to detail. On the steering wheel, on the left, I have my voice commands, mode, volume, skip track, and phone options. And off to the right, I have my adaptive cruise control and steering assist, as well as my pages icon that's going to switch around some of the gauge cluster screens. The overall look and feel of the steering wheel is great. It is wrapped in this perforated leather for the SX Turbo, and I think it feels very, very modern, which is what Kia was going for when they refreshed this car. Off to the left, I do have a climate control vent, as well as my gauge dimmer switch and traction control off. And moving onto the door, we do have some speakers up top, Bose speakers, and then I have my power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, we do get Kia's newest infotainment system. I like that they gave the Seltos their hottest, freshest system, and it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Here's what the backup camera looks like in case you're interested. Nothing groundbreaking, but not bad. And then I have a couple interesting things in here. First of all, I love the overall design of these buttons. I love the sort of purple and pink look to it. But I do have sound mood lamp. This is something I've never seen before in a Kia. So I can set the mood lamp to Blue Flight, Peaceful Forest, Dreamy Purple, Violet Cloud, Orange Delight, Golden Insight, Refreshing Sea, and Super Red. So it will change the mood lighting and work with your music to provide a sort of light show around the vehicle. This is super, super cool, super unique, and I haven't seen it quite in a vehicle before. I also do have quiet mode, which restricts the volume of the radio and only puts it on the driver's seat in case you have someone sleeping in the car. I love that Kia does this, and so far Kia and Hyundai have been the only people to do this. And then I can select my sounds of nature, of which this does get the updated sounds of nature to include the new songs like Lively Forest, On a Sailing Ship, City at Dawn, Experience the Universe, Rainy Day, Moment of Meditation, and Fireplace. I have not heard Moments of Meditation, so let's try this out. Why Kia does this, I don't know. But my favorite one still is Experience the Universe. Yeah, that is pretty neat. Down below the center screen, after playing with those sounds, I do have 2 climate control vents and the hazard switch. And then I have the climate controls themselves. I don't get dual zone. Wow, okay, I did not expect that. The Kia Seltos SX Turbo does not come standard with dual zone climate, something I definitely would have liked to have seen. Yeah, wow, no dual zone, interesting. Then down below we do have some map and media buttons, pretty standard stuff. We have a wireless charger down below all that, and then of course our plugins for 12-volt outlet, USB-A, as well as USB-C, so kind of a mix of both worlds here in the new Kia Seltos. Moving around the shifter, of course we have the shifter itself right in the center. This is pretty standard. It has been carried over from the outgoing Kia Seltos or the pre-refresh Kia Seltos. But off to the left I do have drive modes. So I have normal, sport, and smart, which are pretty self-explanatory, and I like the fact that I can switch that around. The driver heated seat button, my camera button, so when I am parked I can toggle on the rear view camera whenever I want. Off to the right I have my center differential lock, kind of an interesting, very off-road oriented option for a vehicle that's not very off-road oriented, but Kia's been doing that on most of their vehicles. Passenger heated seat option and the hill descent control. Down below all that we do have a power parking brake as well as brake hold. Nice to see that in a Kia. And then we have cup holders, so we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the Kia Seltos, and unfortunately it fails. They didn't switch this for the 2024 model year, but alas, not everything in the world has to pass my dumb little test. Then we do get a center console with absolutely nothing in it. And then we gotta talk about the seats. Like I said, they are finished in this new sort of sand leather, which I really, really like. They are comfortable. My seat is power, it's heated, and that's all I can really ask for from a Kia Seltos seat. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're on the back of the 2024 Kia Seltos SX Turbo, and a couple of things to note. This is my driving position, and my knees are hitting the seat in front of me. It's not amazing. I think these seats still kind of fit under the if you need them seats. If you have a big family, if you know you're going to be driving people around a lot, I would highly recommend checking out the Sportage as opposed to the Seltos. But if I had to sit back here on a road trip, I probably wouldn't be the happiest person in the world, but it would definitely be doable. Headroom is pretty good. The roof line is nice. And down below here, I do get 2 climate control vents. Very, very nice to see, as well as 2 USB-C chargers. So that does feel fresh and modern. I'm starting to get annoyed by modern cars that are updating themselves and not doing USB-C because that's a older tech, so love to see that. I also do get a little center console right here, 2 cup holders in there, and of course the tan leather carries on back here. Let's hop out. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, so we're on the back of the Kia Seltos, and once we are back here, nothing really crazy to write home about. These of course are the floor mats because this is a brand new vehicle. I could pull this up and we do get a spare tire. Very, very nice to see. That's sort of going away in modern cars. I don't seem to get a 12-volt outlet, which I usually look for in vehicles like this, but I do get this nice privacy cover, so it's okay. all is right in the world. Now we got to talk about the looks, and like I said at the top of the video, they did tweak it a little bit. However, it's still very obviously very identifiable as a Kia Seltos. They didn't go around changing every little thing. It wasn't a full update. It was just a nice refresh, and I think they did a good job of making it feel a little bit more modern in a couple of different ways to freshen up the Seltos. This car got me out of bed this morning, so it's obviously doing something right. But now let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the Kia Seltos refreshed for 2024? Well, I have to say that my feelings and opinions haven't really changed that much on the Kia Seltos itself. I have friends that have purchased these and have been very, very happy with them. I don't think this car really knocks it out of the park in any particular style or fashion. It's very, very good. I'm not saying it's not, but the Kia Seltos isn't really supposed to do that. It's supposed to be a mid-range SUV. It's larger than the Kia Soul, but smaller than the Kia Sportage. Fills in that little gap, and you could get it at a pretty reasonable price. This particular one is about $31,000, which is cheaper than the Honda Accord that I've been driving as a press vehicle this week. You could get this Seltos, and I think I prefer the ride quality, the ride height of this Seltos over the Honda Accord. Not that they're direct competitors, but it's just what I've been experiencing lately. These cars are superb, and I think they compete really, really well with other vehicles in their market. Take a look at this or the Mazda CX-5 Turbo. Well, the CX-5 Turbo was an extra $10,000, and I can't really figure out why. This interior feels just as premium. Sure, that engine made 50 or 60 more horsepower over this, but I said in that video that I wasn't really wowed by the horsepower. Around town, this car drives just as good as that Turbo CX-5. In the last couple of years, Kia has really come up in the market. This is on brand with anything else it competes with, if not better. Here's the Nissan Rogue, here's the Mazda CX-5, and then here's the Seltos. It doesn't seem like any one is drastically better than the other or worse than the other. And yet you can get this at a very affordable price. Again, $31,000 is not bad in today's market for a vehicle like this. Overall, I am just very impressed and very happy with the update that Kia has done for the Seltos. I think this is a really good, solid option for someone looking for not a full-size SUV, obviously, but also not really a compact SUV. I think it has a good size to it. So if you're in the market for one of these, I highly recommend checking out the 2024, or if you do check out the 2023, you'll at least now understand the differences and what's changed. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Gerald Kia in Naperville for letting me take out their 2024 Kia Seltos. This arrived on their lot this morning, the morning of making this video, May 2nd. It showed up on their lot this morning, and now I am driving it. I'm probably the person that's driven this car the most, and they are absolutely awesome. Gerald Kia is fantastic to work with. I cannot thank them enough. Their whole staff is very friendly, very helpful, so please go check them out with the information up on the screen. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.